I was not scheduled today, but Dina was nice enough to put me up there, and she was very kind to allow a Presbyterian to come to the Flagstaff. And in case you guys didn't realize, from my accent, I don't hail from Arizona, nor New Mexico or California. The story of spookiness that I am talking about takes place in the scariest place of all, in the Blair Apartments in Maryland. Most people have heard the story of the Blair Witch Project. That was nothing. That was nothing at all. It all stems from Montgomery Blair, where Cody Hahn went to high school, where I once went there a day. I don't know why I was drunk. And the Blair Apartments is a very dear thing to me. It was owned by my family, and surprisingly, they gave me a job. I got fired from 2 pizza delivery places and my personal training. I have no idea how that happened. This story takes place in Maryland in 2008, around April, November, I don't know, but around 2008. During that time at the Blair Apartments, I was learning how to sell them, at which time I could not do that. So I had to go talk to residents in the Blair Apartments about whether or not they liked the apartments. So then and during that same time, I was leasing apartments too, so it was very confusing. I used to say, welcome to the Blair Apartments, help yourself some coffee and cookies. There's no need to worry, I didn't make the cookies. And during that time, I got to know some of our elder residents who had long passed the age of senior citizenship. And one of the elder residents used to come downstairs in her bathrobe, and she was well above 90. So I had to check up on her. First of all, wonderful woman, wonderful person, and I wish her kids would have watched her more, but she's just a wonderful person. I want to extend, she's no longer with us. But that wonderful lady, I had to go in her apartment, which did not have the best odor, but I was glad to check on her. I was glad every week that she was okay. And then during that process, she had an actual resident that was older than her, and I never asked her age to this day. In one of the other buildings, we had 8 buildings and 1,400 apartments. So I was heading over there to where the Discovery Channel was on East West Highway, and I went to an apartment, which I can't say, 721 or whatever. And at that apartment, I started knocking at the door. I knocked at the door. I said, "Are you in, sir?" I didn't want to go in. We had keys, but I didn't want to, annoy the person. So I had calling. Then it wasn't that weird to have a landline. Now you would say something's wrong. They did not have a cell phone then. So I was calling every day on the landline. And when I went to the apartment again, I do believe it was before the summer, everything was gone, including the resident. Everything was gone, and the apartment was purple. Like out of a movie. Yeah, the apartment was purple. The rug was purple. The walls were partly purple. The bathroom was pink. Everything was all purple. So people started to wonder what happened. Had they moved? And because they had taken all their stuff besides the minor things in the kitchen, crackers, this and that. The wine, don't worry, I took that. Like that was don't leave a 98 on that. So I'm just kidding, I take the wine. But so it was like the mystery. Where'd they go? So I was not in charge of finding out where it was, but everybody in the whole complex, 100 and something workers, was looking for where this person had gone. The police got involved. They came there and they came to us and they said, "What do you think happened?" I said, "I don't fucking clue." I said, they don't have a person of contact. The person paying it is like through a benefactor. So we didn't have their number either. We're kind of clueless. And the apartment actually started to develop this odor as if there was like a body in there. So it became scary for each and every resident. And the more time that elapsed from the disappearance of the person, the more purple the apartment became, and the less people wanted to go in there. Like nobody from the staff actually wanted to go into the apartment anymore. So I said, I'm gonna go into the apartment, and this is what I'm dealing with residents, and it's starting to get to me because I was very concerned. I had never met the person, nor to this day. I had never dealt with this person, nor to this day. And on that day, the mystery got a little bit, I don't know if it expanded, but I believe a grandson or granddaughter showed up, and they were calling on the phone wondering what happened as well. And we were asking them what happened. And apparently, she had been taken out, she had been taken out over time. Somebody had seen her with the what do you call it, the vitals. She had been taken out like in the middle of the night, and nobody had seen her since. But there was a thing to this mystery. The person was actually found. They had gone down to Miami, Florida. They had gone down to see, I guess, a friend, a relative, or whoever, I don't know, a boyfriend, girlfriend. So the problem was the apartment kept smelling. And the smell kept getting worse in the apartment. Now it stopped getting pink and purple, but dirty. Apparently this mystery was solved, that this person was kind enough to help a homeless person into their apartment, and this and that. The homeless person, not willing to say where they did, had been coming in and out, living in the apartment and taking all their stuff every single night. So I did not know that yet. So on the final day of this mystery, or which is still somewhat mysterious to me, I walk in the apartment, which I was no longer knocking in. I went into this closet, and this 300-pound like black guy goes, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And I thought like I was gonna have a heart attack right there and die. And I yelled, I'm like, "Yo, I want to get someone." So I ran to get some people, the biggest, strongest security guards that we had, who couldn't get the cops yet. So at that time they go, "What are we gonna do?" I'm like, "Get this motherfucker out of the apartment." So I go to them, all the toughest guys, the cocky guys, whoever, they're all around the apartment. So they go, "What are you gonna do?" I'm like, "I'm gonna go in there and get them out, tell them to leave, call the cops." So I ran into the apartment, I ran into every door. He wasn't there, he had left a lot of stuff in there. And in the process, it's like you would feel the mist of the person that was there and everything. And when I went in there, it's like I saw my life and my whole experience that I would have there. And, you know, at one point I never thought I would go to Arizona, but apparently it happened. But I'm going to end my story there. Thank you for hearing it, and thank you for letting me share it. And Dina, you look fantastic. I just thought I'd say that. And thank you so much.